What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the land of Reckless Logic. Please make sure you guys pop that like button, hit the subscribe button, and please smack that notification bell so do not miss any of my posts from me. Let's get straight into this video. So hello everyone. I know it has been a while since I've been on live. How's everybody doing? Just so first and foremost, you guys already know what we're here to talk about. We will be speaking on Khalil Azad. That's the 24-year-old who was brutally beat, in my personal opinion, brutally beat by police officers in Minnesota. And then we're also going to talk about a black trans woman by the name of Paris, Aminah, who was found unalived in her in a facility or whatever. But before we do all of those things, let's get straight into my fair use and explicit content. Let's go, y'all. Disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976 allows is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, always constructive. Comment down below. News reporting, I guess that's what we doing. Teaching, hopefully y'all learn something. Scholarship, we ain't got no money. Education and research so you can get a nasty piece of degree. Okay? Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Hello everybody. Okay, so yeah, so basically what's going to be going on, at least for the next couple of days, I was in some military training, guys, but I was kind of keeping up with what was going on in the media. So with that being said, I was like today, tomorrow, and probably the day after, I will be doing commentary videos on some of the things I really want to talk about. Now, these two cases are two of the things I really wanted to speak of. Hey, how you doing? Oh yeah, Paris, she did that in her house. Actually, her brother came out and spoke about it. Yep, I'm actually going to speak on that. I'm actually going to share the content as well. How you doing? Hey, Lux Tea Party. Hey, CJ's daughter. Hey, Intersex, how you doing? But let me just get myself set up real quick. And by the way, guys, please make sure you guys thumbs up this video. Hold on, let me get myself together, girl. Okay, so when you guys thumbs up, it really does help out. Think of thumbing up as a hello. So, you know, when you enter someone's house, you know, when you first enter their home, you're supposed to say hello, you're supposed to speak. So make sure you guys speak either on your way in or on your way out. Please make sure you guys thumbs up this video. Please. Girl. Okay, girl, please don't have no sound, girl, because I got no time. I'm setting my thing up over here, y'all. Period. Okay, it's going. Period. Oh no, it's not. I lied. Go, girl. Okay, it's going. There we go. Alrighty, so yeah, so let's get straight into it. So let's start with Khalil Azad. Now he's 24 years old. This incident happened in Minnesota. Now, he was stopped initially because he was believed to have been intoxicated. He was driving a car with some other passengers. I want to say his brother, and I also want to say another passenger, by the way. But initially he was stopped. He was believed to be intoxicated. And then as the traffic stop occurred, he ran away. He ran from the police and he was chased. Now, when I was reading on the actual report, or the actual case or whatever, the incident, they said it took roughly longer than an hour for them to find him, come across him, or even look for him. But apparently it was 2 days later they actually found his body. Now, he crashed the car. Now, keep in mind, by the way, this all happened on July 3rd. Now, he crashed the car and he ran away from the police officers. They searched for him for about an hour, longer than an hour. That's what I got. His body was found 2 days later. But when they found his body, he was actually in Crystal Lake. That's a lake somewhere in Minnesota. His body was swollen. And the cause of death was concluded as he drowned. But we're gonna get into that because there has been some conflicting views on that conclusion. Is because from what I've gathered, from what I've seen from other articles, reports, etc. He's 6 foot tall, 6 feet tall. But that lake, or at least where he was found, it's 2 feet of water. So if he was, quote unquote, he had drowned, why didn't he just stand up? So it was a bit of an inconsistency or gray area where we would love for the police department to most definitely fill in the blanks. And then on top, girl, I'm gonna just wait till I get to my thing. So yeah, so video footage was actually released. Now, with the video footage coming out and being released, the community activists, advocates, now they said that they felt like the video footage was tampered because within the video you can see skips, pauses, freezes, and also with the video footage there were no timestamps available for the footage that they seen. Now, I did try to find the video footage. I couldn't find it for myself. I'm going to continue to try to look for it or whatever. But yes, that's basically what I got from the article. Now, well, what I also gathered was activist groups around the community, they're trying to gather more evidence and footage from all agencies, all organizations, foundations involved to do a compare and contrast when it comes down to what this organization or this building or this, what, I don't know what's actually going on fully, but what this business or whoever has video footage, and we're going to compare it to the tampered footage to make sure that everything lines up, to make sure that this wasn't tampered with, it wasn't edited, and nothing was taken out of context, etc. So let's get into what we need to get into. Now, I'm going to say this. Now, when I first came across this video, I'm going to say this story, I saw his picture, his before picture, and I also saw Emmett Till right next to him. And I remember the caption, it says something along the lines of the modern day Emmett Till. And so at first I was like, what's going on? It wasn't clicking for me. But as I actually continued to swipe on the article and also started to swipe on the post, I saw his before and I also saw his after picture. If you haven't seen those pictures, it's very, very hard to look at. And now I understand why they said the modern day Emmett Till. Now, for those who don't know anything about the story, Emmett Till was a young melanated boy who was accused of whistling, flirting, being quote unquote inappropriate with a white woman. And he was beat up, drugged, tortured, and he ended up losing his life from a group of white men that decided to take justice into their own hands. Later on, we found out that the lady was lying the whole time, and be clear on, she deserved her ass whooped, but I digress. Now, with Emmett Till's body, he was so badly beat, badly tortured to the point that his body swelled up, and his mom was not able to recognize her son because he did not look like himself. If you guys take into account that whenever we do pass away, our body doesn't even really look like ourselves. As a lot of times when you look into the casket or you actually take a look at the actual body, but also add on top of that he was actually brutally beat. And so when I actually seen the pictures of Azad, he was really swollen. He was really swollen. His eyes was popped out of his head. It was very, 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 very brutal. And so I understood the comparison after the fact. Now, here's the thing. I need answers. I need answers. The family needs answers because I'm trying to connect the dots. I'm trying to understand, how is it that he drowned? He drowned. Okay. But why is he swollen? Okay, I don't know the effects of you drowning and you swelling up and all those things. Maybe we can find some answers there. But it looked like from the pictures. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a professional. But from it looked like he was beat. He had bruises. It looked like bruises to me. The picture looked like he had a whole bunch of bruises on his body. It looked like he was tortured. And why did the eyes look like it was popped out of his head? So I would love to know how would the police department how would law enforcement be able to make it make sense for all of us? Because I need to understand, how did this traffic stop happen? He ran off. You guys chased him. Couldn't find him for about an hour. Found his body 2 days later in Crystal Lake, where there's 2 feet of water, and this is a 6-foot tall man. So me trying to understand, how was that going to happen? Now, says the swelling comes from blood rushing to certain areas and coupled with him being left in the water for so long. You know, I thought that too. When a body is exposed to water too long, they start to blow. You know, I was thinking that as well. But the reason why I asked, I was a little bit like, I wanted to ask more questions, is because this is a 6-foot man. 6 foot. There's, from what every single report that I've seen, every article I've seen, there was literally 2 feet of water. So why didn't he just stand up if that's the case? And then on top of that, he to me personally, once again, I'm not a professional, he looked like he had a whole bunch of bruises on his body. So I want to really know, how are they going to make all of this make sense? How are they going to make this make sense? The fact that he was chased down, then he drowned. All of us, like, it's not making sense to me personally. It's not making sense to me personally. I don't know. Now, in terms of the family, I love the fact that the family is going to continue to advocate for him, advocate for justice on his behalf. Now, in terms of the family, I do want to send out prayers, condolences, empathy to the family, because I understand, with, you know, losing a loved one, losing a family member is already hard within itself, especially when you were close to that family member, especially when their passing is unexpected, which normally is unexpected, but at the same time gruesome. And then, but not only that, you have to relive that experience a lot of the times, because in different cases like Tyre Nichols, George Floyd, Trayvon Martin, is put on Front Street in this social media age, to where, yes, you have a movement. Yes, you have people protesting. Yes, you have, you know, people backing you up. But at the same time, you also have your loved ones' pictures floating around on the internet. You also have movements and stuff that continuously talk about it, or try to, you know, really push the movement forward. And at least from my personal opinion, and I could be wrong, yes, it does. Yes, advocating and being an activist for movements really does help the person grieve. But at the same time, I personally feel, and I could be wrong, is that it can also make it quite difficult as well. In terms of, on one end, when you're advocating and you're also in the paint for your loved one and stuff, when you get them that justice, there is a sense of relief, or a sense of, I did this for me, I did this for you, and you feel satisfied. But at the same time, to always have to think about it, go to different organizations, foundations, to be able to get to your goal, or get to your finish point, that can really be another toll, you know, put on your psyche or whatever. But I really do want to pray for the family. Hope that they really do get the answers and the justice that they deserve, because I have a lot of questions. I do. And I would love to, I will be following this case, because I really do want to see what actually happened, because I'm actually interested to see how are they going to make this make sense, honestly. Now, let me talk about this. Oh, snap. I forgot I had that. Whatever. All right. So I do want to talk about where's she at? Miss Paris Aminah. Now, Miss Paris Aminah, she's a Black trans woman who was unalived in her apartment, a facility, in a building. To be completely honest, now the name of this building was the Housing Works East New York Community Health Center. Now, I don't know if this was a housing, like it says Housing Works, so it was a housing. Now, this incident apparently happened February 27th, 28th. I've seen some reports or a story say February 27th, 7th, but then I also seen another content creator who I will bring up shortly, say February 28th. So around that mark. Now, this trans woman was in her, it was whatever was in the facility, and she was found unalived by employees, and they called the first responders, and everybody responded or whatever. Now, what I did notice is that when I was reading the article, it says there were very few details on Paris's death, and with the but even though there was very few details, the community actually did gather in her defense to beg for answers, to really push for answers, and really wanted to know what happened to her. Now, initially, it was led to believe from the reports that she had been executed. Let's see what Deshaun. He said she was in the bag. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. Now, the initial report said that Paris had passed away with a bag over her head. Now, the conclusion initially was that this incident was considered a self-deletion. Now, I'm not gonna lie. When I first seen it, I was like, "What you mean? What you mean?" Like it wasn't making any sense to me. Now, keep in mind, I'm not the smartest one in the book, but for me, it wasn't making any sense to me personally, because I'm like, okay, if this is self-deletion, typically, now I'm actually gonna say all. I'm actually gonna say all. Anyone that self-deletes themselves, they don't put a bag over their head. Typically, if someone self-deleted, they're not going to put a bag over their head. And typically, if someone was executed or annihilated off the face of the earth, and keep in mind, y'all, I'm trying to substitute these words because, girl, you too. Then that's typically when someone would typically put a bag over their head because someone executed them. So it wasn't making any sense. For me, it wasn't making any sense from self-deletion, but yet this bag over this trans woman's head. It just wasn't making any sense to me. Conscious said this. Just like Marcus Adams Jr., who was found hanging with his nipple missing while a teenage white girl posted the body to Snapchat as they robbed the body of jewelry. His death was labeled as girl. I didn't even hear about that one. Maybe I did. I probably just don't like the name. I was thinking the same thing, Reckless. Who would put a bag over his head and unalive themselves? And that's the thing. It wasn't making any sense. I was like, let me just do a little bit more digging. Let's see what people were saying. Now, like Deshaun, because actually Deshaun was the person that actually, I'm put his name back up. Deshaun was actually the person that let me up on game, like put me up on game of what was actually going on, because I had no clue about this trans woman being unalived until he sent it to me. And I was like, oh, I have to talk about this. Now, Paris's gay father, Javon, spoke out. He actually, now I'm gonna bring up this content creator. I'm gonna tell you the content creator that actually did the interview. It's real quick, but Javon actually cleared up the misconceptions that were actually put out on the media, into the media. Now, this is the content creator. Now, girl, y'all know I'm known to butcher somebody's name, but this is the content creator. She is a trans woman, very beautiful woman. She spends her time speaking on trans people's instances where trans people are unalived, because a lot of the times, which is something else I'm going to get into, is that a lot of the times they don't get the coverage that they need to. So yes, this is the content creator right here. I'm going to put her information in the, there we go. I'm going to put her information in the chat, in the description box. My fault, because I had no clue all of this that was going on. Baby, let me go do this. Baby, let me do this real quick. You guys, make sure you guys thumbs up this video. Baby. So yes, he did speak out. Now, when he did actually do the interview with her, I'm gonna call her Raven. When he actually did do the Raven over. Come on, yes, come on, Raven over. Come on, sound it out, because baby, I was gonna butcher her name. Okay, Yeah, so with Raven over, when he actually did the interview with her, he actually said that her Paris's death was not actually a murder, was actually being terminated or self-deletion. So when I heard that, I was like, okay, so I need to listen some more because I need for this to make more sense to me, because I'm like, okay, I'm still stuck on this bag. This bag is over this trans woman's head. What's going on? So as he continued in the interview, now he did give clarity to what was the point of view from the employees and first responders, and also the point of view of medical examiners. Now, from the point of view of the employees and first responders, is that they are not certified in being able to detect, analyze a corpse, analyze a decomposed body, analyze anything of the sort. So naturally, if you see a decomposed body, or you see something very similar, or the body or whatever, you may not understand or have the range or the information, education to fully analyze the body, to actually be able to make sure your recollection of what you saw is very accurate. And I say that to say what I'm about to say in 2.5 seconds after I get done with this statement. Now, to the medical examiners, they have more of the information and the education to really detect and really break down what this is, what this isn't, what narrative could be true, what narrative is completely ruled out, and be able to really get down and break it down to the last common denominator in so many words. Now, in the interview, he made it very clear that in the room that where Paris had actually passed away, it was very hot in that room. And with it being very hot, what was seen by the employees and the first responders, because keep in mind, they don't have the information or education to the same degree as the medical examiners, is that wasn't even a bag over her head. That was the film from her skin. So that wasn't even a paper bag. That was her skin, because the room was very hot. And so he said that, and he also made it very clear that another name from Paris was Diary of the Unspoken Truth. That's a name that she was known by, or a name that she would, utilize in spaces and stuff. Now, I want to say this. First things first, I wanted to pray for the family of Paris. Pray that they have a healthy grieving process, that they're allowed to grieve, they're allowed to go to that dark place, but as long as they don't stay there, because I'm pretty sure that as anybody who's ever grieved, or anybody that especially believe in the spirit realm, has passed on, I'm pretty sure they don't want you to stay in that place. They want you to move forward with life and being able to heal effectively, essentially. So I'm really hoping that they have a very healthy grieving process. Now, first things first, what happened? Like, that's the question that I'm really trying to understand. What happened? Because when I first read the article, they were saying this was self-deletion, and then it also said that this is, from what I was understanding, I was kind of going towards the notion of this most definitely could have been her being terminated. And the reason why I said this is because I'm like, this bag. But once I actually heard the gay father speak out and gave more clarity to the situation, okay, so I was like, okay, cool. If it's not self-deletion, and if it's not her being terminated, what was it? Was this an accident? Was this done by natural causes? What actually happened? But at the same time, I understand that, for one, lack of coverage, which is something we're going to get into, lack of coverage of the story. And then on top of that, I understand that the family probably doesn't want certain information out because, they already have their own grieving process. Now, my initial, so I already went over my initial thoughts. Yes, let's get into the lack of coverage. Now, in terms of the lack of coverage, when I was actually looking for this story, now keep in mind, when I look for different articles and stuff to kind of read up on, I use Google News. Use Google News because it's like a search engine for a whole bunch of stories. So I'm like, okay, put a name in, put bing, 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 55,000 articles pop up, and it's all, you know, categorized, and it's all, you know, labeled, and it's all stacked by time, as in the most recent one that probably came out like 20 minutes ago, bam, right at the top. The most, you know, the furthest one, the first article, down at the bottom. So, you know, I was expecting more for the coverage of this story. And when I actually looked and put her name in the search engine, I literally only found one article. I literally only found one article. And then I literally put her name, and now I don't know if it's probably changed since then. I literally put her name in Google search engine, and I still literally only found the same article, that one. I literally only found one. So the lack of coverage was a very big issue. But then again, we already know that this is something that has always been happening with melanated bodies. And then on top of it, you want to add in her being a woman. And then on top of it, you want to add on her being trans. The lack of coverage is amplified times 3. No shade. Let me see. And also with the updates as well, too, because even after, and this is always my breaking point when it comes down to media outlets, is that if you're going to report on a story, okay, cool, report on it, got you. But if you're going to report on it, why aren't you updating the stories that you've already covered, especially when you probably already have people already invested in those stories and looking for more information and being able to find more details or have more clarity for these type of situations. And so with that one article, I literally only got the article of this was a self-deletion or she was terminated off the face of the earth. I literally had to go to this content creator's page to actually get more information on that this possibly was a natural cause or an accident. Don't know. And then on top of that, just to find out that it wasn't even a bag over her head, that was actually her skin because she was decomposing. So there weren't no updates. There was literally one article. Couldn't even barely could find that. Now, I wanted to talk about the intersectionality of it all. Now, for those who don't know what intersectionality is it's a term that's used to let you guys know that yes, we all may be man, we all may be women, we all may be melanated, we all may be Caucasoid, etc. But however, we have different sections or different sectors in our life that all mesh together to create this manifestation of what you see here or there. So all in all, what I'm saying is that yes, I am a man. I identify as a man. Yes, I am a male. Yes, I am melanated, but also at the same time, I'm also queer. 4 different things. Well, really, if you want to mesh me and me being cisgendered, really it's 3 different things. So that's really what intersectionality is. So when you actually take into account the way that they even treat melanated bodies, specifically within media, the lack of coverage has always been a big thing in terms of reporting the domestic violence rates, reporting the abuse that melanated bodies actually receive, which is why now social media has become a really big thing. And i.e. this case right here, to where I had to actually get updates from a different content creator who took it upon themselves to reach out to a family member or a friend of the family or the gay father to get updates on a story that was reported by mainstream media that completely dropped the ball and said, okay, we don't care about it anymore. So this has always been a pattern when it comes down to melanated bodies, specifically within the media, because they have this sweep it up under the rug. Like, we'll report it, we'll talk about it, but once we're done with it, girl, bye. So you add that into the equation. Also, when you add it to the equation of women, for the most part, not saying that men aren't victims as well, as we all know, men are also victims, but us living under a patriarchy, women are more than likely or are looked more as prey compared to men comparatively speaking. So in cases where women are victimized, especially under a patriarchy, especially when they have a melanated context, a lot of the times their situations are pushed to the back. Now, I'm gonna say this: consume the message, spit out the specifics. So as we take a look at Black Lives Matter, now I do understand some people don't really mess with the movement like that. I understand, I get it. But if you actually take a look at the way that Black Lives Matter, the way that things were carried out in terms of the actual movement, you notice that yes, majority of melanated men were the victims of police brutality, and yes, majority of melanated men were the face of that movement. But we've also had cases where Black melanated women of all kinds have been victims of police brutality as well. And the thing is that yes, we did have a Breonna Taylor. Yes, we did have a Sandra Bland. Yes, we did have other women that were victims of police brutality. But I also want you guys to pay attention to this, is that yes, we talked about all of the George Floyd's, Tyree Nichols, Trayvon Martin. We talked about all of them, and they have been very consistent in terms of when we have these conversations of police brutality and the way that melanated bodies are treated here in America, specifically, really globally, but specifically here in America. I want you guys to also pay attention to how the Breonna Taylors and the Sandra Blands, how those movements have been pushed to the back as well. So yes, once upon a time we were talking about those things, but yet the shelf life of relevancy, and I'm using that term loosely, not to be rude, but relevancy in those conversations don't last as long compared to some of the male counterparts. No shade. So you add that into the equation. Yep, her being a woman does play a part. And then also to add to the equation too, that because we know transphobia does manifest in different ways, in different within different methods. We also know that her being trans as well, and we do know that people with a bias can also work in media. We see it all the time when it comes down to melanated bodies. We see it all the time when it comes to sexist bias. And just to think that that same bias does not exist for queer people, when you have people who obviously have a bias or have a bias against a group of people, but just so happen to run a different organization or media outlets, then yes, transphobia does manifest in terms of the lack of coverage as well, because with all three of those different intersections within Paris's life, they all have one thing in common: the traditional practice of coverage of those things, those incidents, and you seem to fit into any one of those intersections typically. But in her case, all three, the traditional practice is to sweep it up under the rug. And we're not going to talk about it. And so a lot of people don't even know about the incident of Paris. And then not only that, even when they are aware, like myself at once upon a time, it's not, we don't have updates. And then now we're spitting out, regurgitating, echoing misinformation that has already been updated, but yet we haven't been updated in so many words. So what I'm going to do right now, because I actually meant to do this earlier, but I was kind of on a roll. What I'm actually going to do right now, I'm going to play my commercial, and then I'm going to be right back, and then we're going to talk about a few things, and then I'm going to get up out of here. Okay, let's go right here. Hold up, let me do this. Girl, hide the comment, girl. Bam, there we go. By the way, y'all, make sure you guys thumbs up the video, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. So yes, I'm gonna run my commercial break, and I'll be right back, guys. Billionaire Black women a community of Black women who are learning how to manifest the life they desire. A sisterhood of like-minded women who have similar goals and dreams. Billionaire Black Women offer structure and accountability for manifestation goals, educational resources such as on-demand classes, workshops, master classes, and more. Visit billionaireblackwomen.com for more information and join the free Facebook group. Period. So you guys make sure you check out Billionaire Black Women. If you guys just check Ev out, Ev is a subscriber. She is a logician. And also, too, I do want to give you guys a little update of what's going on. I kind of say this in every live, but I just want to give you guys an update. The reason why you guys do not see super chat or anything like that is because that as of I have to get a new ID. The ID is in the mail. It hasn't come to me yet. I have to verify my identity to YouTube so they can continue my monetization. But that's the reason why you guys haven't seen my channel members in terms of channel members, because a lot of content I've been wanting to post, but girl, I can't do that right now. In terms of being channel members, and also in terms of you guys seeing super chats, super stickers, etc. So as of right now, only thing I have access to as of currently would be Cash App, Zelle, or PayPal and stuff as of right now. But that's really it I really want to talk about. And also too, I want to kind of make these videos a little shorter so I can kind of get my audience retention better. Because baby, I be doing these hour-long videos, and baby, well, sometimes 11-hour videos at times, but yet people only kind of watch 20 minutes of it. So trying to bring that bad boy down. But that's really it for my video for today, guys. Please make sure you guys thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. What you guys really do help out in terms of the algorithm and stuff, because when you guys thumbs up, it lets YouTube know that they finally got to do their job. And with that being said, to recommend a nigga. Okay, so with that being said, please make sure you guys thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, either on your way in or on your way out. Please, please, please help a nigga out. But that's it for my video for today, guys. Please make sure you guys pop that like button. Oh, before I do all of that, so let me tell you what I did, right? Okay, one last thing, then I'm gonna be out for real. Okay, so I was like in the back, well, not really in the back, but you know, back here. I was like in the back behind this wall here. I was behind there, and I was like, you know what? I need to make something cute for the platform. So, you know, a lot of times, y'all know when I be over here babysitting, you know, watching my nieces and nephews and live streaming at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I need to make something that's going to be kind of cute. So, you know, at least when I leave or whatever, it can at least give you something cute to look at. Because sometimes, girl, I be looking like back on my lives, and I be like, girl, I could do better. So that's what I did. I made like an intermission type of video. So while I'm gone, you guys can still see something and feel good. Now, y'all let me know what your thoughts are and how you guys honestly feel about it. Be honest with me. I know you guys are. But let me show you guys. Okay, so what you guys think about that? Because when I tell you, when I be bored, I just be trying a whole bunch of stuff. How you guys feel about that? Girl, I said I was going to end this video, girl. I'm on 40 minutes. You guys like it? Dislike it? Girl, let me end this video. I'm over here just talking to y'all. I said I was going to be here for only like 30 minutes, and girl, it's over here 40. So that is it with my video for today, guys. Please make sure you guys pop that like button. Hit the subscribe button, and please, please, please smack the notification bell so do not miss any more posts from me. Until next time, guys, I will see you guys later. Deuces!